good.
You mean you love?
Journalist as well.
Yes,
But
I saw that. Yes.
multifaceted.
Yes.
This is my brother right here. He to me, I think he has probably the best podcast studio in
Awesome. I'm
Houston.
gonna have to listen
Great.
in.
Me too.
Man, I went there seeing it in my own 2 eyes.
Okay.
And he got mad clients, and I like the setup because he can literally fit it to whatever.
Whatever.
He got the LED screen in the back. It's
That's
crazy.
awesome.
You say you got a podcast, right?
A studio.
Okay. What is it?
Right down the street in the Edo.
I feel like I've been there.
You have with her media. I mean with Helen Hour.
Yes,
Yeah.
I have. That's why I said when he said on the other side of 45, I said I've been there.
I think what's her name? I think.
Rodriguez, right?
Yeah.
What's your
Sports guy.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
Okay, good. I was gonna tell you, I got a quote of me, and so I just went outside the building to share it for this evening. Okay, thank you.
So what I'm gonna do?
I do everything.
Okay, just making sure you're on board, baby, because you know.
Oh, I know. Trust me. Okay, well, now I like
Hey, so how's it going? Good to see you, babe. I see you taking those pictures, man. Good.
You know, I get lucky sometimes.
Yeah.
I got quite a few of this man right here
Yeah.
in the archives machine.
Well, I'm more pants this year. I'm about to get caught up with a skirt on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I learned my lesson.
It's cool. If she it's alright.
I will go on. How y'all doing? Come on, it's Comm week. All right, so today I have an illustrious cast here today, the panel. I mean, some are revisiting, right? And some are here for the first time, right? But communication is everything. This is what we're here to do, to talk about communication, but how it really acts in the professional realm, right? A lot of people don't understand or don't know really everything that really embodies the school of communication, right? There's comm studies. If you want to be a public speaker, right? There's radio, television, and film. You can look behind you and see that in action right now. There's reporting and journalism, right? So I have a lot of people up here that reflects that. Entertainment, recording, industry management, that's the music program. I mean, and it stretches beyond just music. I'm talking about from production to rapping to singing. Like, a lot of people don't even understand what we have right here in this building, even at this school. A lot of people sometimes walk in and just think it's talking. It's much more than talking, right? So this event is dedicated to showcase what you can do on a professional realm with communication and how powerful communication really is, right? So we'll get started. So we're talking about passion meets purpose, right? Does anybody know? I want somebody to tell me what you think passion meets purpose means. What do you think? Somebody. What you think passion meets purpose means? Absolutely. There you go. If it's something that you love, right? A lot of people don't know what purpose is right here, brother. Preparation meets opportunity. Preparation meets opportunity. He said if you're doing something that you love, that's called a career, not just a job or something that you wake up every day loving to do. And I just say briefly, I absolutely love what I do every day. And I'm sure everybody up here loves what they do. That's why they're here right now. All right, so let's clap it up for our panelists and I have them introduce themselves. So we'll start left to right. Ladies can go first, right? Left to right, left to right. So introduce yourself. Let us know what you do. Let us know who you are. Anything you would like to say.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Cheryl Mercedes with KHOU. I anchor the noon, 4 and 5:30 newscasts Monday through Friday, and also do investigative reporting, and now partnering with our corporate team to mentor journalists in our smaller markets in Texas to get them ready for the bigger leagues, like in Houston, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas. So really happy to be here. I love that I can reach out to our younger reporters and help them grow too. So really a passion of mine. So glad to be here.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Lloyd Christian. I have a studio down the street. I'm a studio owner, podcast studio, which is a production studio too. Also, I'm an author of this book called Why Now Is Your Time. And I wake up to create content. So like every day I create my own content. So I think it's important that that we all die empty when it comes at the end of your journey, that you don't regret anything. So that's what I do.
Love it, love it.
What's up, guys? My name's Dave from Radio 1 Houston, which you probably are familiar with 97.9 The Box, Magic 102, Praise 92.1, and of course, we just recently acquired 93Q Country. Seems like out of left field, but trust me, it works. It works. I'm also an Amazon best-selling author, award-winning DJ, and I think I can spill the tea now, but I'm also a TEDx speaker, so just a couple of things in the works.
Hello, my name is Sierra Henry. I am an award-winning sports journalist. I actually currently work here at Texas Southern. I'm the sports information director, meaning like I'm over all things communications for TSU athletics. I actually went to grad school here, so coming back here was a dream for me. My want job, before here I was at ABC doing the sports segment Monday through Friday, 6 and 10 o'clock, you know, like clockwork, so feel your pain. But so yeah, communications has led me in many different roles, and we'll get into that, but I am here now, and yeah, happy to be here and mentor and talk and answer all your questions.
And
Oh, yes, I did go to. Did I say that? I went to grad school here. Yes,
Yeah.
and Miss Val was one of my teachers, one of my favorites, and this was one of my classmates. So definitely full circle. Love being here. Love it when he invites me to come and chop it up with y'all.
Absolutely. Very proud of that. Very proud of that.
Yeah, my name Derek Dixon. I am CEO of Rec Shop Records. We've been out here in Houston for the last, I don't know, almost 3 decades. Like way back from the Screw era with Fat Pat and Big Mo and ESG. All of those guys were on my label. Since then, I've worked with pretty much most of the artists. Since then, I worked with Mike Jones. did his film for him. Oh, also I do independent films. I have about 4 or 5 independent films that I've done. All of them, most of them, where they reflect the culture and whatnot. Yeah, work with you name it, name artists, and in some form or fashion, I've worked with them all the way from the Slim era and Paul and them era to the Cheddar, the Connect era, all the way to now, Fast Lane and Quiet Money Dot, just different things. Different artists and different things. So I consider myself to be an advocate for our music scene, our entertainment space. I feel like, you know, it's a role I love playing. It's fighting for our culture, fighting for our films, fighting for our music, fighting for guys like you, everybody that make our music scene and our entertainment place. So happy to be here again. I come here all the time. I love coming here. Some of the interns that started with me, actually 2 people that work with me right now were working with me and started working with me like in 2000, and I met them here. They were students just like you guys. So we have a lot of great things going on. I'm looking forward towards the end to tapping in with you guys and seeing if maybe some of you guys can take this journey with me.
And first, I want to just thank y'all for coming because let me tell you, it is not easy to break away from a very, very, very busy schedule. Okay, you have to have love in your heart to break away from their busy schedule just to come here and speak with you guys. So I know they have valuable input. I know they love and care, not just for you guys, but the community, right? Houston, Texas Southern University is a staple here in Houston. All right, there's University of Houston, but there's also Texas Southern. So I'd like to thank y'all again for coming out and taking your time to be here today. Let's give them a round of applause sometime. All right, so we'll jump into some questions. A lot of my questions are honestly more strengths and weaknesses on like communication and things that we can possess to elevate us in their realm, not just in the professional world, but even in the personal world, right? But number one, can you emphasize how important it is to be an effective communicator in general and also in the professional realm? Why is communication so important? Anybody can answer.
I mean, I think it's important, and let me just say this real quick, though. Back in 2020, when we started the studio, until today, we did over 3,000 podcast episodes we have produced. So I have seen people, the communication side, they just come in to do a podcast versus understanding how to effectively communicate. So I think it's important is that once you learn how to communicate, you can sell anything. So I think that's very important, just understanding that who you are, be authentic, and learn how to communicate. That'd be good for you.
I think for sure, communications, it might seem like it's like a cliche to say that communication is the biggest thing, but it's also the most hardest thing I think in our field because we're so busy, and I think people forget to like tap in or follow up, like especially in the professional world. It's like you're so busy doing this, doing that. Communication is key. It will kill everything if you don't forget to follow up. So I just say make sure you're organized and communicate with who you need to communicate with. If somebody sends you something, just at least say, hey, received. Okay, got it. Okay, I seen it. Because, you know, then it goes a week later and you're like, hey, did you see that email? And they're like, oh, I didn't even see it. Because, I mean, it is easy. You probably might say, oh, they saw the email. No. Especially if you're working at a news station, your email gets full, you know, anything. Your email gets full of stuff and it's easy to miss. So it's good to follow up with people. You might think you're getting on their nerves or whatever, but just stay consistent, communicate. It's a big thing.
Absolutely.
I don't have like the exact stats, but I think I heard somewhere, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. Fact check me, please. But one of the #1 causes for divorce in this country, it isn't finances, it isn't infidelity, it's lack of communication, right? But that's been the truth in my personal and my professional life. Like, I was one of the only people in the country at Radio 1 Houston to be on both sides of the fence. And by both sides of the fence, I mean in sales and advertising, meaning like the people who go out there and close those $2-3 million deals, who are responsible for the IJustGotHit.com commercials. So I was on that side of the station for years, but I was also at the same time on the air on Praise 92.1. And they would never let anybody do that. And I would always say it was a testament to my ability to communicate. I could go into any room, whether it's with a suit and tie, and ask somebody for $10 million, and then crack the mic with Slim Thug or Paul Wall, and we could chop it up about, what it was like, or, the South Side versus the North Side, you know what I'm saying? So,
Outside.
but it's always been my ability to communicate and connect with people.
Outside.
Absolutely. Y'all see I got the A-leaf on.
Outside.
Anyway, communication rules the nation. It really does in so many different areas of life.
Yeah, I'll just accent what everybody's saying. It might possibly, it's a possibility that communication might be the most valuable human skill set that you can actually have and learn how to master, because like they said, it goes in so many different directions in terms of marketing, in terms of management, in terms of building your network out. At the end of the day and the beginning of the day starts and ends with your ability to communicate, connect, influence, impact, get other people to do stuff, manipulate, whatever. You have to figure out how to communicate and make it happen, and it's a powerful word. People run from it, but manipulation is a very, very important part of how we deal with each other.
Yeah, just adding on to that, you can talk your way into or talk your way out of anything. Period.
Yes.
Hold on, I want to say one thing though. Write this down. The fortune is in the follow-up. The fortune is in the follow-up. If you follow up, because I'm a business owner, so like I keep people my text message. I'm always following up. They might not be ready at the moment, but the fortune is in the follow-up. I'm telling you.
Absolutely. And just sidebar, because I'm listening, I'm learning at the same time, right? T-Pain, right? A lot of my students think I'm so old, right? Like, I'm so old, right? So I'm old, right? Well, as soon as I started posting over and over every day on my social media, my DMs got to jumping. And I got more opportunities that I've some conquered and many missed because I did not follow up. I left bread on the table, money on the table. And then I say T-Pain because that happened with him. He checked his request DM and realized he had thousands and $1,000 just sitting there. The follow-up is so key and so critical. And the thing about it is a lot of times we come across people where we think that blessing not going to come there. You never know. So the person that you think it may not come from, if you just follow up and say, hey, I seen you text, well, I got $100,000 for you. But you never would have hit that person back, then you would have missed out on that blessing. So I just thought about that because communication is key. And it's not, right? Sometimes it's that text back, it's that email back, and so forth. So I appreciate that.
Or commenting on that person's page and telling them to check their DM. I know y'all probably seen it and be like, "They're so weird," but honestly, that's the only reason why I check the DM is if they had wrote on a comment and said, "Check DM."
Check DM. So let's move to the next question, right? So this entire room was built on the legs of networking, right? Can y'all give a story? I asked this last year, but this is my favorite part. I tell my students all the time, narration. I love the stories. So what integral stories do you have about how you got into your field? Or was it easy? Did somebody give you a chance? Did you have to wiggle your way in, or was it given to you? What's a story about how you use communication to get to where you are today?
I got a good one because I tell it all the time. So I went to U of H, graduated from U of H undergrad. I never knew what an HBCU was until I got to Houston. So when I got to Houston, all of my friends was at TSU. So I was always over here at Hump Day. I started working I played basketball in college, stopped playing because I felt like there was no money in it for women, which it wasn't. They just now got money. Right. So I decided I was going to start working on my career. So I went to U of H and started working in the athletics communications department. It is a very hard internship to get. And I remember that it was like a couple of days, like the last week they were accepting applications. I sent mine in, wasn't getting a response, followed up like twice, called, left a voicemail, nothing. So you know what I did? I put on my Sunday's best. And I got up and I went to the Fertitta Center. It was not that then, but if you've ever been there, it's like a really big, intimidating building. I didn't even know where to go. I walked in and I was like, hey, I want to speak to his name was Jeff Walden at the time. He was the SID there, which is what I do now. But I went in and I was like, hey, I've been calling, trying to get this last internship spot. I decided to walk it in. So he let me come on in and do my interview right then on the spot. And he gave me the job. And that is how I got my start in sports. And I say that to say, so I came over to TSU to do grad school because I wanted to bring everything that I learned over there here, because I saw opportunity here to make it a better place. A lot of people would be like, oh, well, I'd rather be there than here because there's more money. But there was more culture here. There was more family here. And for me, I got my first TV contract here at TSU, even though I did all my work at U of H. So that's my story. Like, you know, you just got to walk. I was scared. I did not know. I was not a person who would just walk in and talk to anybody. But I was like, you know what? All they can say is no.
That's it.
But they said yes. So.
I know that's right. Any other stories? D-Rick, I know you.
Yeah. So back in 2017, me and my wife was podcasting out of our house. And we had people come to our house and say, man, you know what? Let's rent your house out. I'm like, whoa, I'm down. I thought, let's do it. My wife said, nah. They can't come here with that. So after October 2020, you know, everybody know that was a tough year, COVID, Kobe dying. We started the podcast studio on the north side of Houston. And so the first couple of months we had 0 people. And so I had to go put boots on the ground. So that means I had to go take the flyers. I had got like 10,000 flyers. I'm just going around Houston handing out the flyers, just meeting people. And now today, the studio, 6 years later, is built on referrals. So I have 30-something podcasters, got a lot of people that come to the studio. We do commercials, we do podcasting, producing. It's amazing. So all that comes with being consistent, making sure that we communicate. And I promise you, whatever dreams you have, it's going to come true. But you got to be able to be willing to put the boots on the ground, communicate, and be consistent.
So are these stories about how networking opportunities turned into other opportunities?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Or whatever juicy story.
Yeah,
you got.
so I got two. They may not be juicy, but they definitely were profitable. And so the TEDx opportunity came because I did a free event, a concert for one of my mentors is Dr. Eric Thomas. And so the guy who helped him scale his business was doing a conference here in Houston. And he was like, hey, we need a DJ, yada, yada, yada. I know you connected with E. Would love for you to be a part. He was like, how much are you going to charge? I was like, hey, if you in the E community, I got you. Like, you coming to my city, you ain't got to pay a dime. I just want to be in the building. Because I know when I'm in the building, there's something more. And I'm not telling y'all to go do a bunch of free stuff, but God had just put it on my heart to bless him. And by being in that room hosting, I didn't even get on the stage. I didn't even have to speak. I wasn't giving a message, a keynote, nothing. But just by DJing and MCing and hosting a few little things, somebody came up to me at the end of the day and was like, hey, we do these TEDx talks here in Houston. Would you mind applying? Because we think you'd be a perfect fit. And one thing led to another, and I was able to actually secure that position, which if you know anything about TEDx, like once you get on that TEDx stage, that opens up doors all over the world. And so I'm extremely excited about that. And that came from just being willing and able. And the same thing happened to me with this new venture that I'm working on right now. We just launched this startup tech company that could be worth billions of dollars, hopefully. And that came from me just doing stuff with one of my homies who owns Juliet, right?
Yeah, I want in.
Yeah, I got you. Listen.
That's what I'm saying. You
I'm
trying to invite us?
I'll tell you more about it later. But a friend of mine, I've known him since high school, but he was one of the ones who actually made something with himself. Y'all probably enjoyed some of his establishments. Like I said, he owns Juliet, High Key, and a bunch of other restaurants. And I used to shoot all his content, and I was like, bro, listen, I don't know what it is, but I know something magical is going to come out of this relationship. And so we would just shoot, and we would shoot. And I thought it was just going to be the game, right? Me shooting him, and I'm getting the game for free, right? Or not for free, but you know what I'm saying. And so later on down the road, he was like, man, listen, you had this idea the other day, and that launched into something else. And we've already, raised, a couple $1 million, in trying to secure more. But it's those opportunities of just not being afraid to put yourself in the room, just finding a way to get into the room sometimes will lead to something beyond your wildest expectations.
All right, let's pivot for a second. This is one of my favorite words, all right? In a chapter in our book, it's like the second chapter, right? We talk about emotional intelligence. I love that word so much because a lot of people don't understand that when you have emotional intelligence, how far not only can you go, but you can utilize communication to the best of your ability. But when you lack emotional intelligence, it'll be difficult for you to navigate in life, personally and professionally. So, what does it mean to you guys, and why is that important to have when you're matriculating and maturing within your profession? Because you may start off freshman, right? But seniors have a different ideology a lot of times than freshmen, right? Same thing in a professional career, right? You may do something that you didn't do 5 years ago that you've learned to do, or know certain people, or know how to take advantage of certain opportunities that you didn't before. So what does emotional intelligence mean to you, and how important is it to navigate through life?
So that's a very like this to me. I think this kind of like a big deal breaker in life. Like a lot of times, if you don't control your emotions, then they control you. You're gonna shoot yourself in the foot. You're gonna close a lot of doors, and you're gonna lose a lot of opportunities. So you have to be able to put that in check. And I got two real, quick stories and stuff. Like for one, I know some of you guys are in the entertainment space. I used to go to radio, and I used to get pissed off because every time I go in there, they wouldn't play my record. But instead of getting pissed off, I always would ask them, why? Like, what's wrong with the record? And sometimes they'll say, hey, man, the tempo ain't right, or this starts off too slow, or this, or that. So every time they tell me why, the next time I come in there, the first thing I tell them is I took care of that. I got the tempo in the streets. So, and eventually, instead of me getting angry or mad, a lot of people for a while, and then people start saying, like, he always get all his stuff played. That's because they didn't know it took about 100 no's before I got that one yes. And if you lose your cool before you get to that one yes, then of course you'll never get it. I got one more real quick. When I first started, I'm from Beaumont. I grew up between Beaumont and here. I used to be out here a lot. And then I went to grad school at Clark, and I got my MBA out there. And that's when I actually got into the music business. And at the time, Greg Street was like one of the premier hottest DJs in the country or whatnot. And so when I was trying to launch my first little label, me and my partner, we had paid him $1,000 to be a guest there. And the whole time we were sitting there, he really was blowing me off. He was talking to my partner. I'm the one that really had the most money, but I was the shorter guy, and I didn't have no jewelry on. So he was talking over me like I wasn't there, and I never forgot that because I didn't like how it felt. So fast forward about 7 years later, 6 or 7 years, when my label, we moving now. We just got into, I signed my first record deal with Capitol, like things going my way is great. And everybody started calling me from my office, and they were like, man, Greg Street calling. He want to talk to you. So I'm like, all right, yeah, I get to it. Then they called me back because everybody else knew how important it was that I took that call. And finally, I was like, I'm going to take the call. I still was bitter, but and so when the phone rang, I answered it in the street, and I had never talked to him since that night. And he was like, D-Rec, what? And I looked at the phone, and guess what I said? I wanted to say, you piece of shit, you blew me off. But I looked at that phone, I say, street. You know what I'm saying? And the moral to the story is, on your journey, sometimes everybody's not going to see you right away. They're not going to see the shining star that you are. But you have to stay persistent and stay within your own emotions and stay positive and stay true to who you are. And who knows, it might be the second time, might be next year, but eventually that same person may see you. And at that particular time, you can't be holding on to no old stuff. You got to be thinking about the future and trying to move forward. So I hope I ain't talked too long, but I feel like that is a key component to success, is keeping your emotions in check.
No, you hit it right on the nail.
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
I think that everybody can attest to like getting upset, you know, when I'm a hothead. So, and I talked about this in your class before about, you know, just people you work with. You're not going to like everybody you work with. And you still have to respect them, and you still have to take the personal out of it. You're not going home with them, you know. So I might not like how you talk, or I might not like how you dress or how you smell. I don't know. But at the end of the day, but you might be good at your job, right? Whether you think they're good at their job or not, you know, that's not your call. So, you know, you show up every day, do your job, do what you can do, and still respect that person as a person. Because I mean, me personally, my grandma always taught me to treat others how you want to be treated. And you know, growing up, my sister was always mean to me, and I used to be like, well, I'm going to do it back to her. And I mean, I still stick with this to this day. Is like, she was like, no, just be nice, like kill them with kindness. And I know that sounds crazy, but honestly, like, the more you nice, this is what I do. If you're rude to me or you treating me a certain type of way, I'm going to just be so nice to you that you look like, can I say it, an asshole? You will look like an asshole because you're sitting up here being so rude, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just sitting here, hi, well, how's your morning? How can I help you? And you're being, you know, away.
Are you okay?
Exactly. Are you cool? So emotional intelligence is big, you know, learning how to control your emotions. Like I said, I'm a hothead, so when stuff make me mad, I don't say nothing. If you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing. So if I'm quiet, somebody probably pissing me off.
One thing, find you a venting partner. Okay? Find you a venting partner. My mother, she's back there. That's one of them. Professor Williams, he's back there. That's another one, right? He's my mentor. I met so many beautiful people through him, and some not as beautiful. But find you a venting partner. And I guarantee you that another thing you have to understand that sometimes your blessing comes through the same person that tried to dish you.
Yep.
All right? Go to sleep at night. Give it to whatever source you give it to. Right? I know what source I give it to. But give it to whatever source you give it to, and it'll turn back forward and bless you 2 times. So that means if somebody do you dirty, right, it's not all, you don't have to fight every battle. It's not worth it. It could be 10 years later, and you'll wonder, that person will wonder why you're so much on their mind, or so much. They can't even sleep at night because they remember the time that they didn't get a reaction like they wanted out of you. So they're going to try their hardest to get it out. And when they can't, they're going to turn around and be like, man, here's a job. Here's a promotion. Here's a... But you don't have to fight everybody. But if you react, they're going to remember that. Right? You don't have to pick. You just pick and choose your battles, right? And I love that topic. I love that topic a lot because ego is cousins to pride, right? So next, this is another thing I like to talk about. Now I teach public speaking, right? And even in my ERIM class, Fundamentals of Audio, I have a lot of my band students. I've been going to music side because I always talk about comm studies, right? A lot of my band students, they are phenomenal. They can, you know, circle of fifths, music theory, right? But when it comes to get on the mic and rapping direct in the stew, for real, bust some bars, then they be like, oh, I don't know. I don't like my voice, and beautiful voice and everything, right? Flip side, you got the ERIM students who be like, I'm ready to go, but can't read a lick or note, right? Confidence, fear, anxiety. What can we do to prepare ourselves to get in front of others to perform? And even if it's not your personality, introverts, extroverts, right? What can we do to hone in on our own ability to get up and conquer fear? Can we talk about that?
Karaoke. See, I can't sing, but I will get up and sing some karaoke. I don't even really, even still talking in crowds, sometimes I still feel away because when you're talking in front of a camera, when I'm in the studio, it's just me and the camera. It's not a bunch of people.
Because you can't see them react.
Yeah, it's just you. And y'all can email all you want to the station. I don't care. It's probably getting in the junk box anyway. So, you know, when you it's different when you in the studio or you talking on camera. So no, public speaking, I had to conquer that by karaoke, and I can't sing. So you just get up there. Maybe you need a little courage. I don't know, whatever that might be. You know, get up there, pick your favorite song, sing, and finish it. See it through. Don't get up there and get scared and run off.
Just keep doing it.
I say, number one, you know, a lot of times you end up being in these situations. Sometimes you ask for it, sometimes it happens, and you have to perform. And when it's over, either you're going to feel like you did good or you're going to be kicking yourself all night about it. So if you know that, just do it and focus on good energy. So a lot of times when you are having to talk to a group of people, if you find somebody that you feel kind of making contact with you or eye contact, then utilize their energy. I tell artists that all the time, like when they performing, sometimes, especially when you're an up and coming artist or you going into a market that you're not popular and you got to get up there and perform some music that people are unfamiliar with. The main thing I tell every artist, man, that one person that's in there jamming, shit, yeah, just rock with him, you know what I'm saying? And then the rest, you know, and then your energy, because energy is contagious. So I've seen two people turn a whole room upside down. It wasn't, everybody was just sitting there, and then because two people started rocking, and then the next thing you know, so man, just feed off good energy and avoid all those people that like ain't paying you no attention. You just gotta go the way where they looking at you at. So it's my
Yeah, I would just say practice. As crazy as it sounds, the more you do something, right, keep doing it. We're creatures of habit, muscle memory. And the more you do something, the better you get at it. So the more you speak, the better you'll get at speaking. If you notice, I'm sure everybody in here probably has like one or two stories that you could tell, right? Like at the family cookout, or when you go back home for Christmas, or when you out with your boys, or you got that one friend who every time he meets somebody, he tell the same story, but it's so good, right? Because he's told that story over and over again. So when you practice, and sometimes I do it, like I'll be in the car, I'll recite certain one-liners or things like that, or I'll be in the mirror if I have to give a keynote speech or something like that. I'll give bullet points, right? But I'll memorize like my intro and my outro, like my mic drop moment. That's the part I'm gonna nail, right? But it just takes practice. And sometimes when you haven't done something, maybe you don't want to just throw yourself out there to the wolves, right? Like get a few people. Like comedians do it all the time. Before they hit the big stage, they go down the little small hole in the wall circuit, right? And they perform in front of smaller crowds, and then they get they reps in, and next thing you know, they on the, if they any good, they finally hit the stage. But practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes progress, and keep moving forward.
Yeah, and lastly, prepare. If you prepared and you did your homework and you know what you talking about, singing about it, if you know it, if you prepare for it, then that helps with your confidence.
And I like to talk about two acronyms that I live by. So if you got a pen, you might want to write it down. The first acronym is denial, and it stands for don't even notice I am lying. So I realize we lie to ourselves every day, and some of us are fearful of putting ourselves out there, all right? And the second acronym is don't have a poor mindset, and poor stands for passing over opportunity repeatedly. We let opportunity pass us by every single day. When we wake up, you got to know that I am the opportunity. So it's kind of funny because if you're on social media, a lot of times we can talk to the camera, but we get in front of people, we can't talk to people. But the more you talk to the camera, the more easier it gets to talk to people. Because I got over 6,000 posts of just videos and different things. So it's important that you just be consistent. So,
Absolutely. Fear is nothing but an illusion. All right, repetition. Keep on trying and be competitive with yourself. All right, because at the end of the day, if you don't conquer that fear, then fear will conquer you, and you don't want that. Go to sleep at night knowing that you tried. Even if you fail, at least you tried. It's better than not trying at all, right? All right. Being on this topic, let's move forward. All right, now in our respective careers, I know it didn't start that way for all of us, right? You had to work your way up, and I'm almost positive because we all got some haters, right? All of us got some haters, right? How do you deal with so-called dream killers, right? Because a lot of times the support is not in your backyard. I'm going to tell you that for a fact. I have more people that contact me who I do not know in different cities and different states than the people I grew up with on the north side, right? The people I grew up with. So how do you deal navigating with lack of support in your backyard, or until you get to the support in your backyard? Where would you go? Will you stay? Would you go somewhere else? How do you deal with that?
I would say this: act as if everybody was a plug. So let's talk about this scenario real quick. Everybody you touch or you conversate with, they give you your energy back. So what I have learned is some people I had to cut off, friends, family. They had to cut them off because I stopped being plugged into people who wasn't giving me the energy I needed. When I was talking about having $100,000 months, and you talking about making $100,000, it's two different type of conversations. So everybody you talk to, just make sure that they're a plug that gives you the source that you need.
I would say creating your own lanes and your own opportunities. I'm from South Dallas, Pleasant Grove to be exact. I got 2 sleeves on both sides of my arm, so you're never gonna see me without this. A lot of people never thought I'd be somebody who'd be on TV every day, right? And I didn't get that opportunity because the way I talked, you know, y'all could probably hear it when I'm relaxed with y'all, but when I'm on TV, obviously I got to get a little bit more proper pronouncer words because you don't want to have to keep repeating yourself. But I created my own lane. I created Sports Bay. I wrote a book in 2020. I had took a lot of jobs before that wasn't in front of the camera. Of course, I got my first TV contract when I got to TSU with AT&T Sportsnet. That was a big deal. Cynthia Cooper, Butch Alcindor, he still does a lot of stuff for SWAC. But after that, I kept getting those. You know, it was like, so sports, I don't know if anybody wants to work in sports, but anything, even in TV, it's up and it's down. You might get your first TV contract and you might not see nothing for 2, 3, 4 years, you know, but you got to keep going. So in that instance, I created my own lane. I had never worked at a TV station ever in life until they called me and asked me to run their entire sports department for ABC West Texas. And I felt like that came from me creating my own lane, Sports Bay. They saw that I was a self-starter. They saw that, you know, she can create on her own. She doesn't need anybody. So people like to see that. So if you're waiting for this big, you know, for me, I'm saying sports. If you weren't waiting for ESPN, you're waiting for all these giant companies. They want to see if you could do it on your own. They want to see if you can pop, because that's what they do. They want to get the people that's already popping, honestly. So go and create your own. You have to wait for nobody to give you anything. And so that's my biggest thing when I say to haters. A lot of people was telling me, no, I wasn't good enough. Like, girl, you from the hood. Ain't nobody going to put you on TV. And now look, just got back from MLB Network about a couple weeks ago. So,
yeah, good. I say, I say do more walking than talking. You know, like show more than you tell. You know, trying to tell everybody forecast and all your plans is usually not it's not healthy. So, cause that energy, I don't know. I just believe in energy. I believe the more people can. I'm a big energy guy, so I don't want nobody rocking my boat that don't need to. I feel like most of my plans need to be directed at people that are a part of my plans, not people that just need to hear about my plans. You have to have enough confidence and faith in yourself. I tell people all the time, man, I feel like when I was around y'all age, I had on blinders. I couldn't see left or right. I wasn't going to hear no hate anyway, because I was on a mission. And I was like, man, I'm trying to escape poverty. And I really believe that, and no matter what it was, my mom worked on the back of a trash truck, you know what I'm saying? And now, you know, all of her kids, you know, have done well, and we spoiled her because of that. But, you know you owe yourself something. Nobody ain't gonna give nothing to you, and focus on your goals. And then I feel like that hate, you know, and the last thing I'm gonna say, you'll be surprised how many people, I mean, the same person that told you couldn't do it, you'll be surprised. They're going to be, once you start doing it, they go, bro, I knew you was going to do it, boy. They be right
give me
there.
some tickets to the Super Bowl.
They be right there. So you just, you know, you just got to know one by one, they going to all buy in. They going to all come. And, you know, and you dictate who get to sit down at the table where and whatnot after that fact. But, yeah.
That was a good one. I ain't going to lie. Like, I'm a type of person, I'm a little petty. I can't wait for somebody who said I couldn't do it to ask me for something. I mean, I can't wait and be like, and I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I am so petty, and I wouldn't say do this, but I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna see what I can do. I'll call. They gonna blow my phone up on Wednesday. I'm gonna turn that thing off.
That's what high school reunions are for, right?
Right. Absolutely.
I don't miss mine.
I didn't even go to mine.
Oh.
I was at work.
So there's two kind of haters, the ones who know you and the ones who comment in the comments section. Those are the worst, the trolls. I try comments, man. I try not to. And when people tell me, did you see this? Did you see that? I'm like, no, and don't tell me. Please don't tell me, because I can't comment. I can't.
Thugs.
The boss won't let me. I
made a
can't
fake page
comment.
for them.
All I can do is keep a list for when I retire and hope they're still on social media. That's all I can do with my New Orleans self. That's it.
New Orleans,
so don't
yeah.
tell don't tell me, because that's all I can do is keep a list. But really, And so, but from what you're saying, I keep a small group of friends that I have from home, and I call them my stakeholders. And it's very small, and that's the only ones I really share like my information with, like what I'm doing, my goals are, what my future is. The stakeholders, and that's people who like know, my hair is wet, it curls, things like that. Like people who really, really know you, from your childhood. You can trust your family who, won't turn on you. They just know you that well, because people you just meet and, at work, your coworkers, or, in college, your friends you just meet, you've been a couple years, you don't know if that's your competition. They don't know, you don't know when they're going to turn on you. You get in a fight, and then the next week they're talking about you. You don't know if they're there to block you, or what, So I feel like less is more when you share your information. I really do. Less is more, unless they're a stakeholder and for sure they've got your back.
Absolutely. So just a few more questions, but I want to jump into this next topic. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I like them topics that make you think, right? And not just communicate. But I like the emotional side, because I feel like if your emotions are intact and how you present yourself and those type of things, the communication follows, right? So another one of my favorite words, my students will tell you, emotional intelligence, and it starts with a P, perception. You heard of it? Perception. Because I bother them all day. Why? Because it matters. Perception, right? All I talk about, perception. And I didn't really understand it too much until I was in undergrad here. Dr. Nichols, I have to call her out because I took interpersonal class and an intercultural class, and it really taught me a lot about relationships. It taught me about communication, things I never thought even existed, honestly. I just thought communication was just talking, not the emotional side of it. But then I learned a lot about my perception, right? I learned a lot about how you dress to be addressed. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on.
I learned where it comes from, right? Leave myself. Sometimes I come to school one way, sometimes I go to school a different way, right? But it's strategic. Everything I do is intentional. There's a reason behind everything that I do, right? Intentionality. So can we talk about perception? The glass either half empty or half full, right? It's not really reality. It could be somebody's, right? But why is perception so important, and why walking in the room, hypothetically, if you're asking for a favor, the way you look, the way you dress, the way you walk, right? All these type of things. Why is perception so critical, and how does it apply to you personally and professionally?
I'll give you a personal scenario that I learned from my pastor. And back when I was married, he used to always say, you got to be above reproach. And what he meant by that was, it's not enough for people. Oh, no, it's not enough for you to just not cheat. That's not enough. Like, you got to be above reproach, meaning, like, don't get caught alone with another woman, or keep your door to your office open if you have to have a conversation, because the last thing you want somebody to see is you walking out of a closed room with another woman, because people talk, people share stories, and all it takes is that one person to say, oh, I saw him having lunch with so-and-so, and they was all buddy-buddy and booed up, and that's the last, and you might not be doing nothing. This could be your cousin for all they know, right? Yeah, but he used to always tell me, if you in ministry, you got to be above reproach. And Pastor Keon used to tell me all the time, he was like, man, if I'm ever out, you'll never see me with a glass. You'll never see me with a glass, even if it has water in it. He said, I always get a bottle of water, because the last thing I want is somebody out there to go back and tell my church folks that I was out here drinking. And so I know like that can also transcend into the public setting as well. You can lose deals over certain things by the way people perceive you. Or we've seen stories where folks have lost scholarships because of things they've posted online. And, perception is, like I said, it's not enough to just not do it, but it's also about how you present yourself to the public. So anyway.
Great job.
He killed it. I don't know. He ate.
Yeah, I loved it.
That's probably a big reason why when I'm at work I don't show my tattoos, because they all mean something to me. I don't regret them. I ain't gonna say that. Don't get the sleeves, girls. I thought I was going to the WNBA. Don't worry about it. I didn't go. So percept, because it's a big thing, right? If somebody sees me and y'all be like, she's a gangster, but But no, I'm a professional. So yeah, it is a thing. So that's why I don't. So perception is a big deal. The way that you show up and people see you. So
Yeah, I think people gonna judge you regardless. So one thing about people gonna always judge you for what they see, not for what they know. A lot of times people always will be like, oh, okay, this guy got a hat on. Or like my everyday wear, if you see me, you won't think I'm a business owner because I just dress casual. I be chilling. You know what I'm saying? But if you come to my studio, you're going to be like, okay, he got something cooking. But I like to be myself. I like to be authentic. So I think what it is never put on a representative for people who don't know who you are. But you gotta be able to present yourself in a manner that you respect your own self. So that's what I gotta say.
I agree, man. Also, you always on stage. That's just in life. So look the part, play the part. You can't walk up in some slides, some shorts and some slides and a dirty T-shirt talking about you a stockbroker. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get my money, So I expect you to look like a stockbroker. Yeah. So there are situations where you do have to know where you're going. You might be going into a corporate environment. So if you're going into a corporate environment, stay yourself, but put on your corporate self. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm sure you guys are very aware of perception because you guys live in probably the biggest era, like, with social media. You guys, half of y'all I don't even know how y'all know what's real and what's not. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody is putting on, and so y'all play the perception game all day, and I'm sure you guys are very aware how powerful that is. You know what I'm saying?
Social media is the biggest stage as far as perception and getting jobs and how people see you, because that's the first place they go.
Code switching, because that just jumped in my head.
I mean, if we have a candidate in the building, all of us are like, who is she or he? Where are they from? And we're on the Instagram looking them up.
You'll be so surprised how many people, and I love code switching because, you can't put me in a box. You can't do that. You're not going to do that. But I'm going to act different, maybe with my friends in LA versus here. Or maybe different. Now, I tell everybody, keep a little bit of yourself because you don't want to come off fake, right? I'm going to be me. Like, I'm going to make a little jokes. I'm going to be me, right? But there is an opportunity to code switch. You need to do so. There's a professional side of you, there's an independent side of you, there's a personal side of you, there's all these different things, right? So you need to learn how to code switch. And that's the issue, social media, smoke and mirrors. I try to tell a lot of my students and young people in general, like, hey, I'm not tripping on the stuff that you do bad, because I used to do bad stuff too. But we ain't had the opportunity to post it like that. Why doing bad? Like, I ain't even really tripping on you doing the bad thing. Why are you posting doing bad and turn around and asking me for a job the next day? That doesn't really make a lot of sense. And I follow you. So it's like some of y'all, I'm looking, right? So think about that. Just think about that, because it's very, very important. And I want them to understand how important that is. So thank you for touching on perception and how the need to code switch. You could be yourself, but you don't have to broadcast every single thing that you do every single time, right?
Can I say one more thing, too?
Absolutely.
I just heard this the other day. Man, I can't remember who I heard it from. I want to give them credit. But they said we may all speak English, but we all speak a different language. And so, like, when I run up on you, we could be speaking English, communicating that way, but the way you present yourself communicates an entirely different message. It's funny you talk about code switching, because you're not filming this part, are you? But when they hired me at Radio 1, the blackest, entertainment network in America, in the world, I know they hired me to go into some of these white conference rooms. Like, we needed the token white guy. Right, because and it was plenty of team that were way more skilled than me, had so much more experience, but it was like, Dave, go put on a suit and go ask this guy for $10 million. Take him to the Rockets game, wine and dine. You know what I'm saying? We communicated a different language, and I hate to admit that, but I know that's why. But then when I got on the air, it was a different story. And so I don't know. It's interesting, and it wasn't a fakeness. It was, hey, I'm in a certain room, and we have an objective, which is to get this bag. Right. And my manager would always come into those meetings, and I used to always be like, bro, why you always put your car keys on the desk? He's like, because I got a Rolls Royce, and I need them to know that they dealing with somebody that can handle Rolls Royce type of money. I'm like, bro, you could keep that in your pocket. But anyway.
But no, that's a good. So when I first started in journalism, the way I talk, y'all, this, that. I remember I went to my first NABJ and they was like, girl, you need to. So I spent like 2 years trying to sound like a white girl. And it didn't work. It wasn't me. It didn't look like, it didn't sound like me. It was not me. And so I learned how to find my voice and still be myself, but, you know, speak to where people can understand. But I didn't, you know, I have to find y'all a video one day. Y'all want to come see it, just ask me. But way back, no, it was horrible, y'all. Yeah. So, yeah, you putting yourself in a box or just being yourself, you gotta. I think I was a token black girl at my ABC station. So they said, what my GM told me, he said, yeah, those other guys were just white toast. And they were actually, the ratings went up very high, and I think it was just because I was a black woman. They had never seen that before. I was the first black female sports director at that station. So the ratings went up really high, and I think it was just because black girls were trendy at the time. So.
Right. And that's the thing. I'm gonna have like two more questions for y'all before we open up to the audience. But that's the thing. Also, keep in mind, sometimes you're the minority in the space, right?
It's okay.
And that's okay. But also, the weights might be a little heavier for you at the beginning, right? Code switching is pivotal. Keep a little bit of yourself, right? And then there's other avenues you can introduce other areas of yourself. Let people get to know you, all right? All right, so 2 more questions, and then we'll open it up to the audience, right? We'll get on you guys, right? So what about the collegiate space? What can you tell the students, right, that are starting their careers or navigating? What is some good advice or like a jump start to where they can get ahead right now? Because I know some 14-year-olds making millions of dollars making beats, right? I know somebody on Twitch right now doing something, making a bunch of money, right? So I ain't saying you gotta wait till you graduate to get that bag, right? But if you are still finding yourself, if you are still developing what you do in a career fast, right? What ways can they start to now to develop themselves?
Hurry up and fail. Hurry up and fail. Right? Like a lot of us are afraid to fail, afraid to start that business, afraid to holler at that girl, afraid to go do this, to get that job, whatever it is. Just go out there, because, I mean, what's the worst that could happen, right? You know, you fail and you learn that that's not the opportunity or that's not the career path for you. You cross that off the list and you can move on to the next thing, right? But you gotta try. And when you don't know exactly what to do, sometimes you just gotta try stuff, right? You gotta get out there. And my mentor used to always tell me, bro, just hurry up and fail. Because then you can get out there and make it better, or just, yeah.
I always try to tell college students, man, it's very important that you don't wait to graduate to start your career. Start your career now. And when I say that, like, most importantly, it's harder to find a job when you're away from placement centers and places like this where different, you know, companies are, you know, can come through and stuff. And then secondly, just while you in school, like interning or start building your network out early so that when that time comes, you're not behind the 8 ball. And if none of that works out, I say go back to school. Keep going to school. And you'll figure it out sooner or later. I mean, that's what I did. You know, I just kept going to school. I was like, shit. I couldn't find no jobs. I was like, everybody in my family looking at me like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Shit, I'm working on my master's, you know. And while I was there is when I found myself. That's when I did figure out my way.
Yeah, that was really how I got my master's. I only came back to school because I wanted this internship that was only for students. So I had to be a student to get it. So I said, I'm gonna go back to school. So I go back to school, didn't get the internship, but I got a TV contract. So, yeah, just put yourself out there. And if you want to work in sports and you here, come see me. That's how you can get started.
Real quick before we move on. Being that you graduated, you sat in these same seats. Okay, like we was literally in school together, right? Can you talk to TSU in particular? Because you came out of here, right? What can you give them? Some little sauce, some little secrets. Because I give you one real quick, network. All right, you can get out here with a 2.8 with some good networking and get a good job. You can get out here with a 3.5 and not know nobody with no job. All right, utilize your resources. You could be sitting next to somebody right now, your future business partner. All right, so what can you say, some other gems? Because I know TSU, I'm TSU'd out, right?
Yeah.
What can you talk about?
So for sure, TSU is the place to be. Like I always say, TSU is a place that the possibilities are unlimited, but you got to apply yourself. Yep. You got to get out there and talk to people. Y'all, I mean, I ain't trying to be in nobody's pockets, but I'm just saying, I know when I was in school, I was getting a refund check. And I had a little nighttime bartend job, you know, so that gave me the entire day to get out, network, go visit this place, go talk to this person, go ask for this. I'm come back tomorrow, ask for this. Y'all, this is Houston. Get out there, have your fun, but don't party all night, sleep all day, and you only wake up just to go to class and go home. Right. Then you're not going to make the most out of this opportunity at all whatsoever. Get up, you know, spend your days, go work for free. This is the only time you can work. That's the only time I could work for free is when I was getting a refund check. Okay, so use this time to go and intern. Use your money wisely. Don't get your refund check and start buying chains and shoes and all that. Pay your rent up, you know, and go out and do what you need to do and make the most out of it. Go get you a nighttime job. I always say, you know, nightlife can be a good thing and a bad thing. But let me tell you something. You go get you a nightlife job and you work here, you can make so much money and meet people, and you can sell sections to the people at your school, your classmates who want to spend their refund check on the bottles. I don't know. But, you know, all of those things what I say is this is the only time that you will be able to live like this and work for free. I couldn't work for free after that. I couldn't afford to.
Great job.
So, I notice everything I say, I'm always write this down. Why now? All right, the word why means what's hurting you, okay? What's hurting you is what is going to fuel you. And the second thing is now, which means no opportunity wasted. You don't want to waste no opportunity. So you want to step on the gas right now and go get it, because we all only got 24 hours in a day, 8,760 hours a year. How I know? Because I don't waste time. I know every minute, everything to me, every minute matters to me. So in order for you to be successful, you got to clock in on your dreams every second you can and don't waste it.
Great job.
How many people in here are trying to get into the news business? Okay, oh my goodness. Okay, this probably applies to other careers as well, but if you're trying to get in the news business, my advice to you is this is so different from when I was trying to get in, because of course internships are so helpful. That's how I landed my first job. I was just in the right place, right time when news happened. But if you're on social media, especially Instagram, TikTok, whatever, make sure that you're following the people where you want to work eventually, where you want to intern, and start posting stuff with news content with yourself doing it. And hashtag, tag, whatever, those news sources, and start getting those people to follow you. Because the more followers you have and they see that, they're going to want you to come work for them because you have so many eyes on your content. And I'm telling you that because I have a friend who is working at a certain television station in New Orleans, and she's there as an anchor because she has so many followers on her Instagram. So I'm going to share that with you. And it doesn't happen all the time, but news directors are looking for that because that turns into ratings because people are watching how many followers you have. And it used to not be that way, but they sure are looking to see if 60,000 people are following you on Instagram. And it used to not be that way, but the consultants are telling the news directors, look at how many followers, because that turns into ratings. So I'm sure that applies to other careers as well, but it used to not be that way, but it sure is now. So
That's a good game.
I
Right?
know my guy, Mr. Settle, needs to run. So any last thoughts before we open up the questions? Any last thoughts you want to leave us with before you leave, my
Yeah,
brother?
well, first of all, man, I'm absolutely honored just to be able to be in the room and to share this space with you guys. I remember when I was in college trying to soak up this game and trying to figure out what my next move in life was. And the interesting thing is, and I've had a lot of career opportunities, I just pray that that feeling never goes away. Like even when you get into your career, and if you spend all your life in that career, may this feeling of like, all right, I want as much game as possible for the next thing. I just hope that you find a way to continue to have that energy, because that energy has put me into so many different spaces, and it's kept me humble. It's kept me very humble. Like I could go into a room and talk. I could list a whole bunch of credentials, but if I walk into a room, like I'm not finna act like I'm bigger or better or badder than the next man. Like they were talking about some of my photos earlier. I was like, hey, I get lucky sometimes. Because truth is, as a photographer, I really do. I take a lot of shots. I go home and I be like, okay, cool. I got one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, thanks. All you need is one.
So keep that hunger. Stay humble, and that will take you farther than your skills and your network ever will. I promise you. Thank y'all.
Awesome. Let's clap it up. All right, so now questions that you have for our panelists. First, let's clap it up one more time. Amazing. Any question? You see, that's some Houston stuff. Any question? You see me? Isn't that Houston? That's H time for me. You know what I'm saying? Any questions for our panelists? Now's the time to shine. Ask anything that's on your mind. All right, and you get to ask any question for our panelists. Any questions?
I'm gonna pick somebody.
She right there. Boom. She ready.
Nope.
Good question.
No.
I don't have a husband. I don't have any kids. I'm almost 50.
I have.
Agree.
Okay,
Disagree.
I'm gonna say for women. I mean, I don't know. It could go both ways.
disagree.
But
Nope.
I could say I was most productive when I ain't had nobody. What is it? Dirty head. What they call them? Ugly son. I don't know.
Ugly son.
Stressing me out, and I can say that I've been most dusty.
Dusty.
Somebody dusty son was not stressing me out. So as a young woman, I can't say I passed up on an opportunity to move to LA. And I do have a daughter. I am a single mother, but I don't regret that. But I did pass up on an opportunity to move to LA because I wanted to prove that I could be somebody made. Lord, where was it? We don't know. But it got my baby girl here, so that was great. But yes, no, nope. If he don't support him, her, whatever, there'll be plenty more. This probably ain't gonna be the man you're gonna marry. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, everybody be meeting somebody in college. You ain't gonna talk to him no more in about 5 years. Don't worry about it. No.
No, for me as a man, I became more successful when I got married. I got married, I got locked in, stopped running around chasing women. I got locked in. And when I got locked in, it's just focus.
It's the women that rule the
Same thing though, because
right.
as a man, men know how it go down. So my wife is in the building right now. So just as I mean, we have a podcast called One Marriage, Two Hustlers anyway. So she know what it is. But anyways, it's just to me once I got married, I got locked in, focused. And then my success got crazy, so super crazy. So everybody's different. Some people going to make it single. Some people going to make it married. So just whatever you got to do, just do what's best for you as a person. So
yeah, I think the right person.
The right person.
You know what I'm saying? If you meet somebody.
As long as they support you.
Yeah, if they're not supporting you and they telling you, like, I don't know if you should take that job because he really don't want you to move to LA and really you should. He better move too.
Right.
Exactly.
And I want to add something just real quick. I think you said the nail on the coffin, the right person. And he said wife. You did say wife, right?
yes.
She's still here.
Wife. Okay? Finds a wife, finds a good thing. So my point is, I'll talk to the men. As a man, if you have somebody that supports you and you marry, you're become one, then key word, right? Instead of, dating just to date. Or if it's passing time, or it's loneliness, or it's so forth. Or guess what? Comparison is the thief of joy. Maybe it's Instagram. Maybe it's I ain't got no. Maybe it's them Christmas picture with the dog and the massive PJ. Y'all got done. I don't know that, right? So everything. What I'm saying is because I know my students, right? Sometimes it's just well, what about me? Well, maybe it's not your time, right? And maybe the blessing that's right in front of you, right, is being blinded by the person that you're with. So the right person, and as a man marries and woman marries to these type of things. So I just want to chime and say that my brother had a question here. Any more thoughts on that?
We talked about it earlier. Manage your emotions. You know what I'm saying? Just put everything in its place. And I'm not. Yeah, and at the age you guys are at right now, your focus should really be on your personal goals, to be honest. And anybody that's with you, if they not helping that or supporting that, then they in the way. Right. And that go for friends, boyfriend, girlfriend, friend, dog, everybody, mama.
Everything.
Right now, your focus should be on your goals. You in here investing in yourself. You can't let somebody rob you of what you putting in yourself with all that toxic side distractions and stuff. Man.
And she's a music major, by the way. I was ERIM, by the way.
So, you're an author.
Yes, sir.
I just became a new author, but a little bit about me. I'm a multi-instrumentalist musician, trumpet, piano, bass, jazz, all that. But I started writing books. I wrote a sci-fi book. I just really want to know, like, how do you go about marketing that? 'Cause I got the music side, like, I guess I'm now known in Houston. I'm new here, but people know me now. But I want to sell my books.
So I would say start a series. Start a series on the books.
It's 5 books. It's already.
I know, but you can still start a series. So if I ask you, what content do you have out there on them books? What would you tell me?
I have my author page and I have videos of the characters who are
Okay, how many videos you got? Hazard a guess.
more than 15.
Okay, so the thing about selling books and just being, you have to be consistent though. And so like we've been in the game for a long time. So I would tell, I'm gonna just state my age real quick. I've been editing videos for 28 years. So you can kind of see I'm 46 years old. So the consistency is, success not gonna come overnight. It's gonna come over time. So when you get to 1,500 videos, let's talk about it. Not 15. You see what I'm saying? Just continue to pound the pavement, and you're gonna see success.
Man, I just want to say something real quick. It's kind of sidebar to your question, but man, y'all have so many resources right here. I think y'all need to really use y'all communication skills amongst yourselves, because one person's strength might be somebody else's weakness. That's what really business is all about. It's all about like connecting the dots. That's really what I do. I've been in the music business space for 30 years, and I can't make a beat, I can't rap, I can't dance, I can't do nothing. But one thing I do know how to do is connect the dots. Yeah. And so, and I'm saying that to say, there might be another person in here that's a content creator. You wrote the book, and they probably got somebody that's in here that wants to be in the marketing, somebody wants to be in the digital marketing, and y'all can kind of partner up, come together, and let this be practice for y'all going forward. And at the same time, y'all might all speed up you getting to your goals by that. So, man, I wish I had this when I was in school. I really do. I wish I could have. She ain't no telling what I would have did at y'all age. That's how I feel about myself, because I would have got with. I know how to talk. I'm like, hey man, let's rub this together and make something shake. You know what I'm saying? So those are all other things too. You don't have to do everything. Find somebody that's good at something else. Put what you good at. Y'all get together, man, and y'all might be millionaires before y'all even leave college.
Right. Yeah, I started to see success when I realized that I could not do Sports Bay by myself. I seeked help for this, and that. So for sure, like they said, you already wrote the book. Go find your content creator. They all around you.
Keep posting.
Keep posting. Absolutely. Connecting the dots. I mean, it's several people up here that I've met through somebody else, and I harnessed that relationship, and I understood that, hey, I'm having this panel. We met in the studio, years and years ago through Professor Williams, right? My brother back there, right? He does prison ministry. He does all types of. We met at the barbershop. I was talking. He heard me talking, and he was like, "What you do? What you do?" And then we just connected. But this is the thing I try to explain to y'all so much. Open your mouth. It is not wrong to go up to somebody and say, hey, I'm so-and-so. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I use Texas Southern every day of my life. Because if I go up to somebody and tell them I'm a producer or a rapper, they be like, everybody else is. I'm like, but I work at Texas Southern. They be like, oh, for real? And then it turns into other things. Now 3 weeks, a month, 2 months later, I may make a song with so-and-so for free. Just based on that. So what they're saying is very accurate, right? Right here, use your platform. Use your platform. And I know you, brother, you in a band. I mean, we know so many people. I know you know somebody that plays drums. Go ahead. Say it. Franklin. Miss Franklin. That's my. I love Miss Franklin. I went on Miss Franklin since I was in sixth grade. Sixth grade. She's amazing. But so utilize your platform is what they're saying, right? And I tell everybody, ask the person sitting next to you. Somebody, I done had students come up here and say, hey, I do hair. And then I heard somebody raise their hand, I need my hair done. Boom, money right there. But if you don't get up and say it, then how would you know? So I tell all my students all the time, make sure you network, right? Couple more questions. Let's say maybe 2 more questions. Right here. And then you.
Real quick, you probably mistaken me for DJ D-Rec. No,
That's another DJ.
no, no. It's cool, man. That's like I'm the OG D-Rec. You know what I'm saying? but he like a little brother to me. You know, I think he one of the best DJs in Houston. Honestly, like I'm in the clubs always trying to see how, like I'm trying to get music played. I want to see who can, and when he get in there, the club get on go. You know what I'm saying? Like every time he turned it up. But I can put you in touch with him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I just performance. We talked about it earlier. Just be prepared and confident and do you. And really get lost in your art and your craft. And if you get lost, if you love what you're doing enough, you'll just see how it reflects on everybody else. You know what I'm saying? It's like cooking food or something. If you really put your heart in it, and the worst thing in the world is cook something and nobody else eat it. You know what I'm saying? You had Thanksgiving, my family, it's like everybody trying to see who food's all gone, So when I'm preparing my dish, I'm gonna put everything I got into it. You know what I'm saying? If they don't eat it, they don't eat it. But normally they do. I'm probably coldest male cook in my family. But yeah. Anyway, my gumbo chain, like, it's crazy.
Ooh, my mama gumbo is off the chain. All right, Miss Peoples, question.
That part, honestly, is gonna be the hardest part. But manipulation, the first part though is to find some common ground with that person, like, because now you can communicate with them. But at the same time, if they don't see you for what the role that you're trying to play, you're not gonna be able to play that role. I'm just being honest. So it's I can't really just say. For me, I was just bold. I told you I was actually living in Atlanta. I was just coming back and forth out here, and I saw a movement. I saw something that I believed in at the time. It was when screw music was first starting, and I had learned from all my L's I took and the money that I lost that I needed to have an artist that could move X amount of units. And once I saw that, and there was a list of artists that I wanted, and I went after them just like confidently. And it's like, hey man, I can see all of the things you're not doing. This is what I can do. You know what I'm saying? I put something together that's flexible. I still do a lot of flexible deals with people. Don't put nobody in no head like, hey, let's try it out. Let's see if it works. If it works, then I want I want whatever I want, you know what I'm saying? But if not, you're free to go your way. So over time, if you commit yourself, especially when it comes to management, my suggestion to you is go work with a manager that already have artists that's doing something. That's the best experience you can get, and you can build your own name out through other things that are being successful. Because if you're working with another manager, now you're going to start knowing who the venues, owners, you're going to start knowing how to move an artist around. People going to start noticing you, and trust and believe me, artists and everybody's all, when they start seeing you around, you a common denominator to success, they start picking off the tree. So the next thing is gonna be like, dang, oh, that's the right hand. She the one really doing everything. So then next thing you know, you'll be able to approach another artist or somebody and be able to say, hey, I do have a resume. You earned your resume through working for the right person. So it's just a lot. It's different ways, but just be determined and committed, and holler at me.
There you go. One last dying question. I seen your hand up, brother. We got time for two more. Well, it's a lot of questions. All right, hold on now. Hold on. All right, I know I seen his hand up, so I'm gonna let him ask. I'm gonna ask, and then we'll see what we're gonna do. I'm trying to wrap up in about 5-6 minutes, but we'll see what we can do.
Me personally,
so we're gonna have a meet and
He's got
greet.
our contact.
Yeah. So this is why I said so we can do this. I like that question though, cause I like you jumping out there, real talk. Cause I'm like, hey, how can I? Let me do it now, cause that moment of opportunity can close. So I like that. But this is why I'm saying we're gonna have a meet and greet after this, so that way you can meet, talk, chop it up, and all those things. But go ahead and say what you're gonna say. But that's why I'm saying I'm gonna have some more questions. But then we're gonna have a meet and greet, so you can chop it up with them while they're still here.
I was just saying, especially with events and something to that magnitude, for sure, always, yeah. But I mean, we can wrap after it's over with or whatnot, you know what I mean? And yeah, but definitely.
For sure.
Yeah.
Next question, Miami, and then so 1, 2, 3, and then we out. Come on.
Well, me personally, I mean, when I tell people, I always tell them, like, start with your phone. I mean, that's the best thing. Go to ChatGPT or Claude, tell them the name of the podcast, all right? And then tell them to give you 10 titles. With the 10 titles, give me 3 talking points. Start cooking. You know what I'm saying? Because then the thing is, you don't want to be perfect. I meet a lot of people that come into the studio, they try to be perfect. It's like, when you try to be perfect, you never get it right. It's people want to come in and want to use a teleprompter. I'm like, bro, it's a podcast. Tripping.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? But they want to use a teleprompter because they want to make sure they got all their points and stuff like that. And I'm just like, come on, just be yourself. So to me, if I was you, I would take my phone out, let social media know you got a podcast coming, and then go to Clyde or ChatGPT, tell them give you 10 titles. With each title, give you 3 to 7 talking points. Start cooking, man. And then don't worry so much about making money yet until you put enough content out there. Because a lot of people want to come in and start making money when they ain't even got no content. I'm like, you got 0 content. Nobody know you. So that's what you got to know.
And you don't have to worry about cameras and all this. You get you a little $20 mic off Amazon, go live. Go live every day at the same time and talk about sports.
Consistency.
And you'll be... Ain't nobody worried about if you got this and not. Ain't nobody worried about all that. Nope. Start.
Yeah. Good to see you.
I would say, because I took a hiatus when I had my daughter, so I was probably out of TV for like 2 years and maybe a year and a half too. And I was like, man, I want to get back out there, trying to figure out. That's how Sports Bay came about. But I would say reach out to your network. Like if you have network in Atlanta reach out to them and say, hey, like, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get back out there. Hey, do you know of something? Because that's what I did. I mean, a couple of people here from TSU. I think a guy that was a producer here at TSU when in 2019 when I was in grad school, he actually got me my job at HBCU Go. So, just start reaching out to people. You never know. Like, I mean, just say, hey, you remember me? What's your name? I thought, okay, because I remember Dr. Dixon was telling me about one of his students that moved to Atlanta, and I was like, is that you? Nice to meet you.
Yeah, absolutely. Ricky Benz. Yeah, my ERM students, they call me Ricky Benz. They Benzo.
Great start.
And I'm glad to see you. Love it. Glad to see you. Glad to see you. So our last question right here.
Hey y'all, I'm Kerrigan. I work in the Marcom office in Hannah Hall. Came to support my girl Sierra.
Awesome.
I just wanted to end off with tell these students what they need in their portfolio. Like, what's the absolute thing that you have to have if you're going on an interview and they asking for a portfolio? Is it a press release? Is it a reel? Is it like, a sample of social media metrics? What's the absolute thing that you must have to get the job?
Very good question. Very good question.
In my field for sports, you're going to need a sports reel. I don't know why people think that they can say, oh, I'm interested in working in sports and I want to be on camera. And then they'd be like, okay, let me see your demo reel. And they don't have one. Nobody is going to put you on TV if you don't have nothing. So what I will say, a lot of people say that in sports it's hard because they haven't gotten the opportunity. A sports reel that I made that got me my HBCU Go job, because before that I think I only had maybe like 2 on-camera jobs before that. So guess what I did? I went and stood in front of Minute Maid Park. I went and stood in front of NRG and did a stand-up when there was no game going on. Guess who knows? Nobody. You can go stand on an empty basketball court right now and talk about how LeBron James just dunked on Bronny. I don't know. Doesn't matter. They won't know that there's not a real game going on. So create a reel. Do whatever you got to do to create your own sports reel. And she could probably say the same thing about news.
So for us, if you're looking to go in the news business in the South, make sure you have a reel with a variety of things, nothing longer than 10 minutes. Do an opening with your best stand-up. Be demonstrative. Make sure you're not standing in one place. Make sure you're showing things. That's what they like. And make sure you have a variety of a feature, a hard news, showing something that happened. And a lot of journalism right now, what they're looking is for something solution-based, where you make an impact. So that you solve something or you helped someone. Nothing longer than 10 minutes, and make sure that everything is very active. Show that you're moving around, doing something. They don't want you standing still.
Don't give sleep.
Yeah, do not be asleep. Be very active. And to make sure when you show up that you have the link, you have a hard copy of your resume, and also a cover letter. That's also very exciting and doesn't look like a form letter that came from AI.
Yes.
They know.
Me, I'm a full-time entrepreneur, so you better go. You be willing to go all out. That's all I got to tell you. Willing to go all out and be obsessed with it. Love it. Love it more than you love anything else. I've been up here talking about a lot of acronyms and stuff like that because I look at stuff every single day. And whether you got $0, you got $100, or $100 million in your account, you should be speaking to yourself, looking in the mirror every single day. And I'm going to give you guys the last acronym. Y'all ready? Y'all got that pen out? Is that pen out? Hope. That phone, HOPE, HOPE, means help other people excel. If you help enough people get what they want out of life, I guarantee you're going to get what you want out of life. So
That's facts.
I'm going to leave y'all with that.
Love it. Love it.
Oh, like him, I the entrepreneur role, but I can tell you, I definitely have proof of concept. Basically, that's what all I heard. Like be able to prove what you can, the position that you're going for, that you can actually do it. And then I'm just gonna end this by saying, right now, I'm looking for content creators. I'm looking for, I mean, if you can use that camera, you can shoot, you can edit, or if you're good with graphics. And I'm, I'm saying I'm paying, so I'm not even looking for no anybody to work for me for free, but I am looking for that right now. So if any of you guys, in that space, because I'm in a content war right now, and I want to win it, and I need some content soldiers.
Right.
So if any of you guys in here want to enlist, then we're going to sign. I'm ready to sign you up. Yeah.
And I'll leave y'all with this too. Start to unwind your mind about being a perfectionist. All right, that's something I've struggled with for a very long time. And as soon as I stop being a perfectionist, as soon as I start posting in a suit at my workouts, whatever it is, don't matter. I've got more results from the stuff that I didn't think was gonna go. It's same thing with the songs. I'm sure D-Rec can attest to this. I could make 30 beats. The trashiest one I done made is the one that everybody like. But other 29. But if I would have just showed them that one, right? So you have to untrain your mind to nothing in life is perfect, You have to give your best effort and put your best foot forth. And another thing, my mom says this a lot, right? I don't really like the term, but I'm going to use the term because it's the best way that I can sell it. Sometimes you got to fake it till you make it, right? And what I mean by don't nobody know she was just like doing whatever. Sometimes I draw a background if I have to. Whatever I got to do it is what I'm trying to say. I think people are more concerned with the consistency than the talent. The talent, and you have both, then you win. But the consistency, if you post every day, you can laugh, you get it, okay, but that 100 posts, when it hit, like they were saying earlier, now we best friends, but she was hating it at first, but that 100 posts. Consistency, all right? Consistency, right? So please, y'all, please clap it up for this wonderful panel. So we're going to transition now to answer your question. I did want to provide some space. I think instead of just anything so abruptly and then you got to scramble to talk, I'm giving you time to kind of meet and greet and introduce yourself and, and just chop it up. Also, I know some of y'all limbs are a little stiff, all right? A little bit. Well, my father is outside. He got a massage set up, go get some massage. Apparently there was a highlighter last year. Everybody didn't, Jerry, know where Jerry at. Jamar, y'all know too. They was in there, oh, this felt so good. All that, right? So y'all holler at my pops, right? He the number one massage therapist, and he has a massage therapy school. All that, he the truth. He right out there. So support, all right? So thank y'all. Make sure you meet and greet, and thank y'all for coming out. Yeah, I think I don't know you. Come on down.